Well, good morning, Chris Popper here in Bangor. I'm joined by Caitlin and Hannah at the SPCA of Hancock County down in Trenton. And I have Wilma, the Great Dane, who's looking on with me as well. Hannah, tell me who is that pretty kitty that's in the scene right now?
Today we have Sassy.
And tell us about her.
Sassy is about 5 years old. She's clearly been a mother before. So when you watch her walking around, she's got a nice loose flap of skin underneath. That's because she had carried and nursed kittens at one point. And Sassy is just like her name. So she can be absolutely super sweet. But when she is not in the mood for love, she will turn around and hiss at you and say, nope, not now. So Sassy very much needs to be an only kitty.
Okay.
She does not like dogs, but she would do very well.
Wilma, do not listen. Do not listen, Wilma.
She would do very well in a household with older children who know enough to respect that when she hisses, she doesn't want attention, but when she settles on your lap, she wants all the love.
And in that, just, I mean, it's like people. You know, when they want attention, they want attention, and when they want to be left alone, they want to be left alone.
Very much so. And Sassy, as you can see, is one of our more inquisitive cats. She's very intelligent. She will likely become a huge fan of play in a home setting and be very excited about interacting in that way. But in part because she is so inquisitive, sometimes she just wants to explore. She doesn't just want to get love. So a lady of diversity for sure.
Well, there's a lot to be said for that. How long has Hannah? Sorry, I was going to say, how long has Hannah been at this shelter? How long has Sassy been at this shelter?
So Sassy's been here about a month, and during that time, we brought her up to date on all of her shots and gotten her spayed. So she is all ready to go home for the holidays to the right home. And just like you can see here, when she wants to be sweet, man, super sweet.
Yeah, and you know, and this is the time to responsibly empty the shelter, so that way we don't have dogs and cats and kittens in the shelter over the holidays. But we only want people who realize that, you know, caring for a pet is not just a Christmas treat. It's a year-round, making them part of your family.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, whoever ends up making this young lady a part of their family will be in for a treat, because if you get her a chance to get to know you just like she's doing here, she is just a darling. She'll keep you laughing and entertained. Good company.
Oh, that's awesome. I know, so the shelter is still basically closed, but people can go online to SPCA. Give me the website again. Sorry.
Yeah, it's SPCA, Hancock County, all spelled out, .org. And people can view all of our adoptable pets, like Sassy, right there. You can also put your adoption application in right there. And while that doesn't necessarily commit you to adopting, it does allow our staff to go ahead and pre-approve and process the application. And then we call you to see if we can match you up with the right animal to take home through curbside service.
When you look at someone's application, what are you looking for? What are some of the I mean, you want to know that they have a vet or will have a vet, if they've had pets before. Is that correct?
That's correct. And specifically, if they have pets currently, we're looking to make sure that their pets' rabies shots are all up to date, and that their distemper shots are all up to date, and that their animals hopefully are spayed or neutered. And then in addition, if you happen to rent your home, we just call your landlord and check and make sure that it is absolutely okay for you to have that animal in that particular rental situation, because every rental situation is just a little bit different.
No, we don't want someone to decide that even though pets aren't allowed, that they're going to have one, and then get caught with a pet and then have to bring the pet back to the shelter. Otherwise, they're going to lose their lease.
Absolutely. We want to make sure people keep their housing, just like we want to make sure pets end up in good housing.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that we do now as a result of COVID is we really do our best to take a look at your application and to match you up with animals that we have in-house that might really match what you said you're looking for. So if you want a super affectionate lap cat who is happy being picked up, we might steer you to one of our other cats. But if you're looking for a super sassy lady, then this would be the one for you. And the reason we do that is since people aren't able to come into the shelter to meet and greet the animals, we're trying to make sure that both you and the animal are super happy once you get home.
Well, prior to adopting, though, you do have the family room where people can. Oh, and there's Wilma. Hello, dear. Can meet and spend a half hour with the pet prior to taking them home.
So we have that in-house, Chris, but unfortunately, because the COVID case rates have gone up so quickly in this area, we are doing dog meet and greet still in the outside area, and we are back to doing cats by curbside pickup. We are really hoping that those rates will go back down, but since cats in particular are so sensitive to airborne COVID, we are trying to keep everybody as healthy as possible.
Okay, perfect. The one thing we do want to remind everyone who's watching, if you do have a dog, your dog should be licensed by December 31st. The state of Maine does give you until January 31st as a grace period, but after January 31st, there is a $25 late fee. Raise your hand if you've ever paid the late fee. Oh, yes. And yeah, on 3 dogs, a $25 late fee adds up to quite a bit of money. So you want to make sure that you do register your dogs, hopefully prior to the end of the year, and most definitely by January 31st. All right.
Reminder, Chris, and thank you so much.
All right, sounds good. Well, we hope to get Sassy adopted. Hannah, thank you very much. Caitlin, thank you very much, and we look forward to joining you next week and seeing who our next pet of the week will be. Have a great week.
You too, Chris. Thank you.